I think it's safe to say that Nottingham Forest are impressing everyone this year, and it is down to one man, that is going to be Nuno, and of course the players that buy into the system. But today we are going to make 3 variants of his current tactic, and as always, if you do enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I think it's only fair, the first team we test with is going to be Nottingham Forest. With Nottingham Forest, we actually had a great time. We really did. The Carabao Cup was probably the only disappointment, to be honest, but there again, we lose to Tottenham, so some would say expected. The FA Cup, however, we are going to beat Crystal Palace 3-2, and I imagine we beat some pretty big teams to get into a final, and also fair play to Palace. But the main attraction is going to be that Premier League, where as you can see, we are going to get Champions League football in Season 1 with 0 signings. Now, I will say, we have not got a single player in the top goal scorer. We do, however, have Moreno as the top assister and the 3rd best performer in the entire league. Now, what I love about this tactic is it gets results against the big teams without having to really score like 3-4 goals a game. It grinds out the games and it works really well. And do you know what? It was very close, but we also do take home the most goals out of anybody in the Premier League and the most shots. And I will say this tactic was the defensive version of the tactics you've got to see, so make sure you are getting all 3, because these sets of results, these ones in particular, were done with the defensive version. Now, ready to level up your game? Dive into the action with our 500% welcome bonus, where you could turn the odds in your favour and win up to $90,000. For our sportsbook players, we've got something extra. Risk-free bets on selected matches so you can play with confidence. But don't just take our word for it, check out our stellar reviews on Trustpilot and see why players love our platform. And my favourite, the thrill of football and F1 betting. Nothing beats that. Oh, and here's a little hint. We've got something big coming soon. Stay tuned for an epic promotion that will change the game. So why wait? Start winning today. The data hub, we can go and have a look at it, is going to be 2.13, 0.95. My honest sort of goal for this video was to have a team that didn't concede a goal a game as Nottingham Forest, and we've done that just by 0.5%, so I'm more than happy with that. And overall, it's a great season. When you look at this team, when you're playing a team like Man City, you are going to concede goals. You're Nottingham Forest, let's be humble, but we get off to a great start here very early on into the game, and as soon as the second half whistle actually went, we are going to go and make it 2-0 inside of 48 minutes. And to be fair, the weakness of this game was the fact that we even let City get back into the game, because it's a great goal, to be fair, to make it 2-1, and they do go and equalise in the 90th minute to make it 2-2, but, of course, we're Nottingham Forest. We're not going to give up, and literally in the last kick of the game, from a set piece originally, we win at 3-2. I also thought, you know what, it's a bit random, but let's go and test with Sporting. They need a new manager now, so let's go and have a little look. And we had a runner-up season. I mean, 3 runners-up. I mean, it doesn't get much more of a bottle than this, but it shows what the tactic can do, and you can almost push to the limits. This one was used using the balanced version of the tactic, to clarify that. The Champions League, I'm happy to even get out of the league phase, to be honest, but the league is what the whole conversation is about, and we nearly go invincible. As you can see there, only 1 loss against Benfica, and the set pieces that come with this tactic are absolutely broken. 17 for Inacio. Now, I will say some of these were from obviously the heading side, but also he was driving up and also getting goals, believe it or not, in the league. So they weren't all headers, to clarify that. The assists, though, I mean, Santos, a very good player in the Amorim system, of course, no longer the Amorim system. 30 assists, I mean, Gyökeres, 48 goals, that's what he does, to be honest. But as you can imagine, all the stats are going to go in our favour, all the ones that we're trying to get. So the most goals, the most shots, and of course, being defensively solid is an absolute must in a Nuno system. Possession, not the best of the best, but again, it's all about hitting hard on that counter-attack, which we've done very well. Now, the data hub is going to look like this. 3.65 goals a game, 0.44 conceded, over 24 shots a match, a great pass completion, and a very good tackle win ratio. There's not really too much to hate, apart from the fact that, you know, 3 runners up, but obviously this season especially was holidayed, so if we were playing these games, I probably would have gone to an attacking variant, switched it up mid-game. So the fact we got to 3 finals, I'm happy with, and an invincible, was it invincible? Have I got maybe a nearly invincible season? We'll take it. Now, for the last season, I am going to test with a powerhouse, because we haven't really had an all-and-out powerhouse at the moment, and Real Madrid, we nearly went invincible. I mean, the only loss is going to come in against Mallorca, of all people. That's absolutely gutting, but still a very strong season. And as you can see, most goals, 160, most shots, fewer shots against, most dribbles. Defensively, we were absolutely broken, and even possession it's not going to be like a main focus point, but a lot of people will see this and be like, oh, come on, you're not even in the top 8. You're not got to worry about possession, guys. With this tactic, you soak up the pressure and counter-attack, and this was also using the attack inversion, so we're not going to be, you know, the best when it comes to defensive record at all. But looking at the data hub, we're still only conceding 0.45. We're scoring over 4 goals a game, a great pass completion, and a great amount of shots per game. And we didn't just win this. Also lift the Champions League 2-1 against Arsenal, UEFA Super Cup 3-0 against Atalanta, the Spanish Super Cup against Barcelona 4-0. Meaning, we'll watch the last final and we'll watch goals. It's going to be a game with 4 goals and we're going to get things going inside of 5 minutes. A great start there. JoshDaly now in midfield, driving forward into Valverde, going alone to make it 2 inside of 23 minutes. And literally about, 7 minutes after, we're going to go and get another goal there. And it is one of the more scrappy goals I've ever seen in Football Manager. But we're going to take it and we actually find ourselves in a 4-0 situation, which would have been a penalty, but Bellingham will take the goal. We do go on to concede a consolation, which I will show, but at the end of the day, this goal, well, it come way too late. So over to your favourite part of the video, that is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And once again, if you do enjoy rebuilds, come on over to my second channel, Daily Josh, because we've got the first episode of the Red Bull project coming out very shortly. It is actually going to be this week, so make sure you're over there and getting involved. And if you want to see me live, ask any tactical questions, watch me play the game live as well, you can also find my Twitch in the description or simply above my head. You can see it right there. But to make this tactic, all you want to do is load in a create your own style, and we are simply going to load in a 4-2-3-1, and let's go and talk about some football. So the mentality is going to be obviously unbalanced. We're not going to go attacking as soon as we get into the game. We're not going to overcommit as a Forest team. Let's be realistic. Now, the goalkeeper is going to be a goalkeeper, simply as he is. The wingback is going to be a wingback on support, who is going to have some instructions, those consistent of running wide and also staying wide. So they do provide a lot of the width in this team, and for that reason, I would really not recommend changing them, especially in this default version. The left back is going to be another wing back, who is also going to be on the same set of instructions. These wing backs helped a lot actually achieving the results we got with this team, so make sure you have got them on. We're then going to go with 2 central defenders, who are both going to be left on the default. If you're playing as a team who has got like a true ball playing defender and you think, Josh, I'm wasting him, you can have 1 ball playing defender, but that is purely down to the team that you are playing with. Going over to the midfield, on the left hand side we are going to go with a DM who is actually going to be on support, and for the first time in quite a fair few videos, he is simply going to be left on the default. Nothing special at all with him, nice and simple. And to partner him is going to be a Volante on attack, who is also going to be on the default, but of course the 1 default instruction means he is going to get getting further forward, sorry. Now, I do want to quickly say as well, if you are interested in getting all of these wonderful perks, enter in this month's giveaway, and obviously getting all of my tactics from this year, all of my rebuild files, get the tactics on the console and the mobile, everything there. You can come on over and check out the Patreon, where you can be part of a team of close to 5,000 people. We've got a massive live chat, we help each other out with Wonder Kids, with tactics, everything goes on there, and trust me, you're missing out. So make sure you come on over, because like I said, you've got all of this year's content, not only tactics, rebuilds, so much more as well. Hopefully I see you over there. But let's go through and talk about some of these wingers then. So on the right hand side, we are going to have an inverted winger on support, and on the left hand side, we are also going to back that up with exactly the same role. Now, there are going to be some instructions in this system consistent of getting further forwards and also roaming from the position on the left hand side, and also because it works so well, we're going to replicate that exactly on the right hand side. Now, why this works so well is because obviously inverted wingers are going to be cutting inside and drifting inside, meaning the wingbacks can overlap and of course create great overlapping opportunities. In the middle is going to be an AM on support, but with some instructions, tackle harder, moving into the channels and also roaming from the position. And lastly, we are going to finalise it all with the advanced forward on attack, who is simply going to be set to the default. So nice and simple to follow in terms of instructions, but now let's go over and talk through some of the team instructions. Again, the clean slate on the balance mentality, just to clarify that, the attack and width is going to go up to fairly wide. They're going to pass into the space, overlap left and also overlap right, while focusing down the left and the right hand side as well. The passing, of course, is not going to be tiki-taka. It's going to be set to standard, and the tempo is going to be very aggressive. He plays a very aggressive system, so the tempo of course is going to be high. In transition, we're going to regroup, but of course counter when we have the ball and play to anyone across the back line while taking short, simple goal kicks. Lastly, out of possession, we are going to go in with the standard line and that mid block, with stepping up more with that standard line and a maxed out trigger press. press. And that's going to give you, boys and girls, that version is the default version. Let's now go over and test with the tactic, or not test, but show the results from the test with the defensive version, which was Nottingham Forest. So then, this is going to be the tactic we use with Nottingham Forest, and it is going to be a fair bit different. So let's lock in and change. So first of all, the cautious mentality is going to come in. What doesn't change is the shape. It is still going to be a 4-2-3-1, but it's a lot more reserved. So I mean, the wing backs are now both on defend on the default. We have 2 default central defenders. We have 2 default DMs, both on defend. It's a very cautious tactic that essentially allows the front 4 to do what they do best, and that is attack, score goals, and link up play. Then we have a serious amount of people helping defend our goals. So the inverted wingers, for example, are going to stay quite positive. They're not going to, be dragged back down here, for example, but they are both going to be on the default, the AM on the default, and the advanced forward also on the default. So a lot more cautious, literally, not just the mentality, also the player roles. And the team instructions also somewhat follow that path, although they do remain aggressive because that is the Nuno way. So we are still going to pass into the space and have all of this goodness on exactly the same with the higher tempo, with run at defense. But if you are using this to seal out a game with, or you're playing with this tactic and you're in the last 10-15 minutes, also add on some time wasting and definitely set pieces, especially if you've got mine, because they are absolutely broken. Now in transition, we're simply going to regroup. We're not going to have a direct urgency to counter, so we're going to leave it blank. We're in fact going to slow the pace down, take more time on the ball, be more sensible, and play to anyone across the back line while taking simple short goal kicks. And lastly, out of possession, the standard line and actually the low block, incredibly defensive. You're not going to score tons of goals, as we didn't really either, but you are going to get results against the big teams because they are forced to commit so many players forwards. Then you can counter attack and obviously go and get your 1-0 or your 1-goal deficit to go and win your game. The trigger press is going to be maxed out, and tackling, we're going to go with stay on feet. So again, a very tough team to go and play against, and it happens every time. They overcommit players, you can go forward and go and get your goal. Now let's go over to the attacker one, which of course was used with the powerhouse. So the attacking version of the tactic, the mentality is on attacking, funny enough, and as you can see here, it is going to look a fair bit more attacking. So the goalkeeper and both of the defenders in the middle are remaining exactly the same. The wingbacks go back to being on support, both on run wide and also stay wider. The DM on the left remains the same. The volante also remains the same as per the default. Now, the inverted wingers are both now on attack, which of course gives them 3 default instructions. We're going to add one more of a custom instruction, so 4 in total. Both of them are also going to be on roam from position. The AM goes up to attack on roam, move into the channels and tackle harder, and the advanced forward simply remains unchanged. So to be fair, this tactic does offer a lot more going forwards, of course, a lot more risk being taken, but if you are playing as a top team or you're 1-0 down, have all of these loaded in, by the way, into your game, then you can decide when you need to use each variant. It's very simple, and it's a lot easier than pausing, dragging players all over the shop. You can simply click one button at the top and it saves a lot of time. Now, in possession, of course, fairly wide. This stuff is going to remain the same because it's the core principles of the team. The mixed crosses also remains the same. We are going to run at defense and be more expressive, and the tempo also would no reason be any lower. So in transition, the same, regroup, counter, distribute quickly, play to the fullbacks and the centre backs while taking short goal kicks. But for the first time, we're really going to push this high press up and introduce a higher line, stepping up more, a bit of aggression, getting stuck in, and also the trigger press set to much more often. And that's going to give you, boys and girls, 3 variants of Nuno's Forest, a default version, an attacking version, and also a defensive version. So whatever team you're playing as, I've got you covered in today's video. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And once again, if you want to see me live, you can come out and check me up literally above my head here. You can see my Twitch, so come on over, say hello. I'll ask any tactical questions, answer them. You can show me your saves, whatever you want to do, and I'll see you in the next one.